Buddy, this is Bo back in the sports lines. We're going to head all the way over to Japan. Yes, Japan, and talk to Roxanne Modafferi. How you doing?
Ohio gozaimasu. I'm great. How are you?
Good. You know, we had some Japanese neighbors at our house, and my son, who got a 4.0 in Japanese, only thing he could say was hello and was lost after that. I'm like, that's education for you.
Well, it's not easy.
Well, apparently not. You go through a whole year, you get an A plus in your class, and the neighbor's from Japan, and she's all excited to talk to you, and all you can say is, was it sarinada? What's the hello word?
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, konnichiwa. That's the word. That's the only one he could say.
I couldn't really speak until after 2 years, so it's not bad.
Absolutely. Now, since the last time we spoke, Roxanne, there has been quite a lot that has changed in mixed martial arts. And to be honest with you, I don't know what's really going on out there because we were out of it because of the economy. We had to do some reorganization. We bought some new equipment, and things finally fell back into place to start up again. And we've been sort of keeping track of it, but it just seems like things are not good across the board and across the world. And since you're in Japan, you can speak to it. Scheduling of fights. I know there's been a lot of frustration in the women's ranks here in the States because the matches aren't just coming like they were prior to 2008.
I'm not quite sure about that. What I can say is I think that the current stars are getting the spotlight, like Gina Carano, Cyborg, and some local girls are getting fights. But it's hard for us veterans to get fights.
Yeah, I mean, there was Halissel, Molly. She's
Molly Helsel.
Yep, Molly Halsell. She hasn't got fights for like a year. I mean, it's really you all are by far some of the most entertaining matches I think anybody honestly has watched. I mean, I know during the Elite XC they were probably the most watched outside of Kimbo Slice getting knocked out in 30 seconds. But it's it's interesting how things have changed and the pendulum coming back and forth, and and keep us abreast of what's going on exactly out there and let us know. We know locals, we know some of the giant names, but you are among the giant names, though. To be honest, I mean, you are linked. Every website that's out there has Roxanne on it.
Well, I know that out in Japan anyway. Smack Girl passed away, and two other organizations came up, Jules and Valkyrie. And even they are having trouble making matches. And but Jules is putting on quite a few shows, so that's pretty good for women's MMA, I think. Less experienced girls, but yeah, it seems like the promoters in the States don't want to fly in women, and they just try to use local girls. Or
I think it's the thing that we're all in mixed martial arts right now is that even in the UFC, there's people that are talking about it, but not like they did before. When the Elite XC went down, and I think there's a serious link there for entertainment value of following the sport, is that the ladies were catching on in a big way. I mean, everybody was talking about those fights. I mean, Cyborg, who is Cyborg? Tara La Rosa, Roxanne. I mean, the names were all spun around. And, before we stop this and start talking about your incredible win record, but it's got to be frustrating for someone as qualified, and you've done nothing except improving your style. I mean, you watch you from the early stages to the most recent matches over in Valkyrie. I mean, it's incredible to see how much you've changed.
I think that before Gina Carano and before they picked up in Elite, sorry, let me rephrase that. I think before Gina joined Elite, there wasn't really a spotlight on women's MMA. I think that people were recognized on sort of a level sub to the men, so we were kind of all there, and you heard our names pop up. But after the women started getting the spotlight, like Gina Carano started getting the spotlight, but we started getting recognized as fighters more, so that's good. But the people not in the spotlight got kind of buried. So in one way, it's good because women are being recognized more as serious fighters, but on the other side, we other ones who are not in Elite and Strikeforce can't get fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're looking for that big ticket item where the guys they can experiment. It seems like the guys they experiment more with no names, and they bring them up, and they turn out to be good or bad, and it's okay. The ladies they want to see those big names where Carano goes against La Rosa, La Rosa goes against Cyborg, or somebody with a crazy hairstyle that they've got to have because they all want to find out who this person is. But it seems like it's always a competitive nature. I think people who are truly boxing fans see the fight fans and see the wrestling fans. You all are the real deal, and it's very impressive to watch, regardless of I guess the opportunity. Because right now, there's nothing for us to really click on to watch women's professional MMA fights right now. You have to really look for it. And what are you hearing out there that the AFL?